Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. My name is Michael and thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about some common misconceptions people have about refinancing their car loan. Right, this is a topic I've talked about in many other videos, but to this day I still get emails and questions about the whole process because some people are still confused, and it really is a process that if you don't understand fully going into it, that you may actually make some mistakes that aren't in your favor. So let me just talk about a few of these things. They're not going to be addressed in any particular order. And again, if you've got any questions, still put it in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer them for you, but let's go ahead and get started. Now, the number one mistake I see people make is they go into the refinance process really only looking to save money on their monthly payment. And I'm not saying having a lower monthly payment is a bad thing, but I think that's the wrong way to look at a refinance, right? Lowering your monthly payment helps you out in the short term, but it doesn't necessarily help you out in the long run, or at least not always, right? You should look at it this way. You've got your original loan amount, right? That's your principal balance, but you've also got your remaining interest, right? That's determined by the term length, it's determined by the interest rate you get, and if you add both of those numbers together, that's going to be the total amount that you pay on the loan, and that's the number I would focus on. Try and get that number as low as possible, right? And if you just have a smaller monthly payment, well, there's ways to do that where you pay more in the long run. And to me, that's a mistake for your personal finances, right? Again, it's not worth paying a little bit less each month to pay a lot more in the long run. So again, really simply, do not approach this from a standpoint of, I'm only trying to save money on my monthly payment. Look at the bigger picture. Now, tying this into the next topic, let's talk about term lengths, because I still have a lot of people email me with the misunderstanding that, refinancing means you have to start all over on a loan, and that's not true, right? Let's say you got your original car loan for 60 months, you've been paying on it for a year, so now you have 48 months remaining. Well, you don't have to start all over at 60 months. Right? Refinancing means you're changing the loan terms, and that's going to mean your term length. It's going to mean possibly interest rate. The loan amount that you're going to finance now is different than the loan amount you financed in the beginning because you've paid off some of the principal. Refinancing changes everything. So if you want to keep your term length at 48, well then keep it at 48 months. If you want to shorten it down to 36 months because you can afford to do it and you want to pay off the loan faster, then do it. That's absolutely a great thing to do. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you stretch out the loan term to get a smaller monthly payment. We talked about that earlier, but if you really absolutely wanted to, you can. So again, you do not need to start all over. The term length is going to be your decision. Also, I will say real quick that the shorter the term length, more than likely the smaller the interest rate. Most banks and credit unions are going to give you a smaller interest rate for a loan, let's say that has 36 to 48 months rather than a loan that has 60 to 72 months. So again, if you can afford to have a shorter term, take advantage of it. Now, the next thing we should talk about is credit score and how it affects you in your refinance process, because way too many people feel that if you don't have a perfect or high credit score, that there's no chance of it getting approved, and that's simply not true. While credit scores have a huge impact on whether or not a loan gets approved or not, that's not to say that if you've got a high credit score, you're guaranteed to be approved, and it doesn't mean that just because you have a low credit score that you're going to be denied, right? There's a whole host of other factors that go into the decision-making process, like how long have you been at your job, what's your income situation like, what's your total debt load, your loan to value on your car. That's a huge part of it, right? Just because you have a high credit score, the bank doesn't want to make a loan for $20,000 if your car's only worth $8,000, right? And let's say you've got a 600 credit score, but your car loan is $10,000 and your car is worth $20,000. Right? You have a much better chance of getting approved because there's less risk in that loan. So again, loan to value, how long have you been at your job, your income, total debt load, all of these things go into whether or not you get approved, not just credit score. So if you feel like, hey, my credit score isn't the best, don't feel deterred if all these other things are good, positive features for your loan application. Next, I want to talk about a mistake that people make when they only try to refinance with their current lending institution, right? So if you got the loan with Bank A, right, you want to try and refinance with Bank A, which to me could be a mistake, right? Because if you got the loan with a major bank, more than likely their rates are a little bit higher than credit unions or smaller community banks, and you may be better off trying to take that loan elsewhere. Right? And if you're at all interested in finding a place to refinance, check out my video down below on Rate Genius. They're a company based out of Austin, Texas, but they work with credit unions all over the US and trying to help people get the lowest rate. And if you've watched my channel at all for a while, I'm a huge credit union advocate, so I absolutely love those guys. Check out the link down below. But again, it really comes down to finding the best interest rate you can. And if you're with some, major bank, or let's say a dealership that offered you a way too high of an interest rate to begin with, don't necessarily feel like you have to refinance with those guys. There's plenty of other people that want your business. Do yourself a favor and find the institution that's going to help you out the most. The next thing we should talk about is cosigners, right? People make mistakes when it comes to either adding or removing a cosigners during the refinance process. And I say add and remove because you may want to do different things for different situations, right? If you got a loan with a cosigner because maybe your credit score wasn't the best right now, well, when you refinance and your credit's improved, there's no point in keeping that other person on. So, if you want to, take them off. That's the time to do it when you refinance. Likewise, let's say you got the loan by yourself, and sure, maybe your credit's improved a little bit and you can refinance, but maybe your wife or your husband has a better score. Well, if they want to, add them on at that point. Just because you originally got the loan by yourself doesn't mean you can't add a cosigner later on when you try and refinance. So take advantage of both of those situations. Next, let's talk about something that if you do incorrectly can mean the difference between an approval and a denial, and that is how much to apply for. Now, this may seem like a really no-brainer topic, but a lot of people have the misunderstanding that you apply for your principal amount plus the remaining interest, right? That is not at all how you should apply for it. All you apply for is the current loan amount. And if you don't know exactly how much that is, just call up your lender, ask for a 10-day payoff, and that is the loan amount to apply for. Because if you apply for, your loan amount plus your remaining interest, then it is absolutely not an accurate representation of how much you owe, and it's going to look like your loan to value is way out of whack. So again, make sure you're applying for the right dollar amount. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is this idea that it costs money to refinance, right? And that's not true. And if you're at all trying to refinance a car loan and this place is trying to charge you a fee to do that, do not do business with them outside of maybe a title transfer fee, which is like $30, $50, right? Do not pay them any fee to do this loan for you, right? Their incentive to give you this loan is the interest that they're going to collect in the long run, right? This is not like a mortgage where you're going to have loan origination fees or anything like that. So really simply, do not pay fees to do your loan refinance. But all in all, those are the things that came to my mind when I look back and thought about all the things that people misunderstand about the car refinance process. Again, if there's anything that isn't clear, put it in the comment section down below. I'm happy to answer them for you. Likewise, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You guys know what to do. If you really want to support the channel, check out my Amazon link down below if you happen to be buying anything. It doesn't cost you anything extra at all, but Amazon does give a small commission to the channel. So if you'd like to show your support that way, I would greatly appreciate it. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see y'all next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.